Hello.
Hey, Rob, Brian.
What's up, dude?
Hey, man, what's up? Long time no speaking to us. Huh?
I know.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, but congratulations, on the pain method. And, what doesn't
Cool.
kill you? I listened to the album almost all day today, and, a lot of the tracks I really loved, and it's got a lot of
Oh,
diversity,
cool.
and stuff, and you're on Eclipse Records and stuff, so you're on your
Yeah.
way once again, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but still going.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
tell you
yeah.
that.
Wow. I just doing some research on some of the bands you've been in and stuff like that, and
Cool.
I guess the first band that I recognize is Mutilation in 1988.
Yeah, that was the first band with a record.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Wow.
So that was that, and then went to a couple of bands in and out between that. But M.O.D. was pretty much next.
Right.
And then Propane, and then Generation Kill, and then with DMC still, and it's like playing Run DMC songs with him.
Right.
Electrified. We did a record together, Fragile Mortals, but this basically wasn't really a band. We just made an album together, and now it's
right.
the Pain Method. So,
yeah, and that Fragile Mortals, that came out in 2017, which was only last year, right?
Yeah, it took long to get out.
Right.
A lot of red tape to go through with when you're working with like a legend like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to see the light of day. It was a passion project.
Right.
We were going to write one song for him, and he came to my house, and we wrote like 3 the first day I met him.
Right. Yeah.
So there was chemistry, so we just kept going.
Cool. Now, basically, when we first got together, me and you and Tim and stuff like that, that was the demo age of 2007 with Full Scale Riot and stuff like that, and you guys played some some benefit shows and some shows around this area and stuff like that. Whatever happened to that band? It disbanded and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that.
No, they're still together. It's,
right? Yeah, I saw that.
The guy I replaced, they brought back.
Oh, okay.
BJ.
Okay.
And honestly, I think this is the way they are supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
My version of that, I don't think suited them.
Right.
And it wasn't quite what the Pain Method is now. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I think we needed to split apart to make 2 good bands instead of one mediocre by merging. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Wow.
So I took the drummer from Full Scale, obviously, and brought him into Generation Kill briefly until that dissolved, and then just kind of kept him along for the ride with this. So Rob wasn't really all that happy with how it was going with Full Scale either. So it got divided, basically, and the right guys stayed there, and the right guys went the other direction, and now we have 2 bands that sound nothing like each other.
Right.
But we actually played together on the same bills, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And we're all friends, and it worked out great,
Cool.
So it just, I mean, if you haven't noticed, I'm like a presence, and so is Timmy.
Right.
And to have multiple alpha males in one band is very difficult. Everybody wants, not everybody, but when you have 2 bosses, like I had my vision of what the band should be.
Right.
He had his vision of what the band should be, and clearly they're 2 different things. You know
right,
what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
Judging from the new Full Scale stuff compared to our stuff, it was the right decision for us to part, and we're friends still. So
right.
That's the good thing about it.
But I did love that demo. That
you know what? It led me to this. I think now what I'm doing now is a lot more focused and streamlined, but that had to happen for me to get here.
Right, yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean? To me, we were looking for direction with that demo, and the Pain Method clearly, is focused and has direction. You know what I mean? Like, but we were searching for something at that point. We had to write that to evolve, you know.
Right. Well, now the Pain Method. When I listen to it, it's kind of like more commercial than other stuff you did before this. Like the song "Save Me."
Right.
That's probably my favorite song. Okay. I really enjoyed that one. I feel like through the whole disc, a lot of essence of Alice in Chains in there and stuff like that. And that was really a draw for me listening to the CD.
For me, it was, I never really sang lead vocals until Full Scale.
Right.
I was always singing backups with M.O.D. Did some singing with Propane, but nothing as a front man. And what I did notice when I was singing with Full Scale, I would do one show and I wouldn't be able to talk for a week, even though there was still melody there.
Right.
And I was yelling, but everything was in key, but I was pushing really hard,
Right.
So when I started the Pain Method, and I was like, okay, I'm obviously not a screamer because my voice just can't handle it. You know what I mean? Like, my adrenaline gets the worst of me. There's a controlled way to scream like that,
right.
And I'm just not knowledgeable of it. But in my head, I always felt I had a singing voice.
Right.
And I love harmonies, and I'm not even saying I love Alice in Chains harmonies.
Right.
But I'm a child of the 70s.
Right.
When I was a kid, the Beach Boys, the Mamas and the Papas, the Carpenters, those harmonies tickled my brain as a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Anything with harmony, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, like, numerous bands from the 70s that harmonized, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I just thought it was brilliant, and I have a sense of melody, and I thought I had a pretty strong voice enough to pull off what I did with the Pain Method is still have anger and still have soul and darkness, but not lose melody,
right, yeah.
by just screaming through it. I mean, emotion isn't just screaming, you know what I mean? Emotion comes from your heart, not your throat.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just felt like if I just screamed on this, that I would be doing. I did what came natural to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And singing like that is actually more natural to me than yelling.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. I did that's what a lot of people enjoy is the harmonies and stuff like that. Background vocals mixed with the harmonies and stuff like that. People. I'm drawn to it, even with the 80s rock and the hair metal when you had all them great harmonies and stuff, and that's what drew me to that kind of music too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna scream just because like the bullet belts and the leather vests are gonna
right.
be mad at me, or the Propane fans or the M.O.D. fans. They've come to accept me. I've done rock projects, metal projects, rock rap projects, worked with legendary rapper DMC. I write acoustic songs. I've kind of I played bass on stuff. I play guitar on stuff. I played drums on stuff. It's more like I don't really care. I like having fans.
Uh-huh.
But someone said years ago, you can't please everybody. You have to please yourself.
True. Uh-huh.
And then you'll develop a fan base of people who like what you're doing. You know what I mean? You can't. I'm not going to scream to please the Slayer fans, and I'm not going to sing to please the grunge fans. I got to just suit my. It's a selfish thing, but I don't make records for anyone else other than myself, but then I want to share them with people, make them available to people. But at the end of the day, I'm doing this for me, and I hope you enjoy it.
Right. Yeah. And you also do your backyard barbecue acoustic tracks.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like what people seem to forget is, like, I do music for fun. Like, it's, you know, I've been in bands, and I'm in bands, and they're waiting for, like, the tour bus to pull up.
Right,
and it's like, dude, you haven't played your fucking instrument in a month. You don't deserve it. I play every freaking day, but there's no guarantee that, you know, you're going to make it because you could pay your dues, make the greatest record. It doesn't mean people are going to latch onto you and make, you know, allow you to quit your job. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the backyard jams, what I do when I do that stuff, I have musician friends who didn't pursue music like I did.
Right.
But I had that same feeling as them when I was 15 and 16, where it was like, let's get together in the backyard, drink some beers, and jam.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times, musicians lose that.
Right, yeah.
Because they're too worried. They won't even play their instrument unless there's a tour coming or a record to make or, you know, and I never treated music like that. Like, I love just I bring my guitar to a party because I know people are going to be there with their guitars and their bongos, and we just jam. And
yeah,
I like that people now can see that with Facebook is that the one thing you could say is that I love playing. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's pretty freaking obvious, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
it never let me down.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I watched them.
Yeah, it just shows like it's real.
Right.
You know what I mean, I was getting crap from managers and band members that I'm posting too much and this and that. And I'm like, listen, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to create this fake image.
Right.
And this is me.
Right.
You know, and people accept me and like me, and you know, I'm not going to be this, you know, reclusive. That's not me.
Right.
You know
Yeah. Wow. Cool. And you're also going to be doing a Rock Against Dystrophy coming up too this month, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
There's these guys that have these like internet radio shows. Turbo is one of the guys.
Uh-huh.
John Shatsky. So it's like the guy's been following what I've been doing for years, you know, with Generation Kill.
Right.
Now the Pain Method. And the guys who actually put this together are, you know, living with, you know, muscular dystrophy, you know?
Right, yeah.
So they approached us to do it, and I'm like, of course, you know, we do a lot of benefit shows. We did one for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Right.
Raised $2,500 for them. The dystrophy show we're doing, you know, try to raise money for that cause, and then the day before that, we're doing a benefit in Troy, Pennsylvania for children's music programs called Music for Munchkins, you know?
Right, yeah. Wow.
You know, it's much more fun for me this way. Like, you ask a bigger band right now to do a benefit show for even a friend.
Right.
And you're going to run into agents and managers and, oh, we can't do that. And
right.
I don't know, man. People seem to have forgotten what this is all about, but it's their business. It's their livelihood. I get it. I was there, you know?
Right. Wow.
When we did the propane stuff, though, we tried to really keep a human element to this thing, you know? We were a machine, and we were busy, and we had, you know, we were always touring and doing stuff, but we weren't above playing, you know, someone's backyard party if the schedule allowed it. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you go back for I know at least a Full Scale Riot because you did a benefit with me at Dexter's Club, you know, a while back, and you know, I guess you're pretty well known for helping out the community.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this: it's like I don't do it. We did the St. Jude's Children's Hospital thing, and basically what we did was we did the show, we collected the money, put it in the band's account. I called St. Jude's, made a donation, and that was the end of it. You know what I
Right,
mean? We
yeah.
didn't do it for like the glory.
Uh-huh.
We're not doing it for any other reason than it's just something cool to do and something nice to do. And I don't like when people do it at a benefit show for the press,
Right, yeah.
for the tax write-off, or that's not a true benefit or charity. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing another one for 9/11 a cancer victim from 9/11 who may have missed their window to apply for assistance. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So we're doing that in late September as well. Like, it's just more like I'm a sucker for anyone who's like just trying to get by. You know,
yeah.
if me packing a club,
uh-huh,
and trust me, I could use the money. You know what I mean? But I get more out of
uh-huh,
giving it to someone who could really, really use it than If I got gas in my tank and food in my fridge and a roof over my head, I'm cool. You know?
Cool. Now let's get back to the pain method. What doesn't kill you? Tell me a little bit about when you started writing and recording for this album.
We started writing some of these songs. They were going to be on the Next Generation Kill album.
Right.
And I had written tons of songs, and we kind of hit a brick wall. And to me, it felt like we were writing Number of the Beast, but we still had Paul Di'Anno in the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't hear Number of the Beast with Paul Di'Anno. We needed to make a change.
Right.
It just wasn't happening. Like, we were writing this really amazing music, and we just weren't getting lyrics back, and we were getting a lot of excuses.
Uh-huh.
And eventually, there was a personal dispute between me and Dukes that led me to just walk away. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But in all honesty, I was looking for a reason to walk away because we made 2 records in 10 years. That's pathetic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
We toured Europe once and did some one-off shows. Not like we did 2 records and we were just touring crazy and just were too busy on the road.
Right.
And I was writing, like, put it this way, when it came time to do the new G-Kill, which morphed into the Pain Method stuff, I had over 180 songs written and recorded and demoed because I have a studio in my house.
Right, yeah. Wow.
Me and my manager at the time went through 180 songs, not riffs.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
So what happened was I was trying to cherry pick songs for G-Kill, Generation Kill, and give the best stuff, and it just wasn't happening. It was like forced. So I said, I gotta go do my own thing, and I took the songs that I had written for them, which was probably half a record,
Uh-huh.
And started this, and said, I'm streamlining, because I think Generation Kill lacked focus and lacked direction. I wrote a majority of the stuff, but we had 5 members.
Right, yeah.
So what happens is, I write a song, and then by the time everybody gets their fingerprints all over it, it's sort of a different song.
Yeah.
And it loses its original energy. And then the lyrics, we're not even hearing lyrics until you're in the studio, which showed me there was like 0 preparation going into the studio,
Right, yeah.
For the Pain Method, it was just, I was way more focused, and, I've been called obsessed and obsessive and by members, and been told to slow down by members who underperformed by my standards, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So this way, I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to really apply myself. I demoed everything. I knew every word I was singing before I went in. I knew how I was going to sing on it. That's why the harmonies are all basically tight and lined up. It doesn't sound sloppy in any way,
Uh-huh.
And I produced it as well because, I've run into issues with that too. Like the last G-Kill record, we handed off to someone else, and I was basically locked out of the studio, and I really wasn't all that happy with how it turned out.
Right,
you know, like, it was better than the first one that I produced, you know, but I wasn't even asking to produce the second one. But for a band member to be completely shut out of a mix,
right, yeah,
and as someone who wrote, I wrote 9 of the 10 songs, or 8 of the 9 songs, so
right,
it just felt like I needed to do stuff myself. And I learned a lot from Bumblefoot on the Fragile Mortal stuff that he produced. Bumblefoot, you know,
right, yeah,
you know of him. He's
Ron
a
Thorpe.
monster, and he's a super talented but super supportive, and, you know, willing to show me. Like, I sat right by him and kind of watched what he did when we were tracking, and I learned from him, and I appreciate him, and he's happy for me that I took over the reins producing this new Pain Method record, you know?
Right, yeah.
I needed to have more control of the songs that I'm writing, you know, and the Pain Method for me completely gave me the freedom to do that with no guilt and no resentment from other members. But, you know,
right, wow,
it kind of worked, you know what I mean?
Cool. Now, will you be touring at all with this?
Well, we're trying to get something together. We're doing a lot of one-off shows, but we're in the age of the buy-on.
Yeah.
You have to pay bands $10,000, $20,000. You get nothing,
right,
other than the privilege of opening. Okay, so, and you're also in the age of record labels not giving tour support.
True. Yep.
So it's like, I'm not going to spend, you know, first of all, I don't have a life savings.
Right.
But I'm not going to spend the band's personal life savings to go open up for a band to maybe make a little wave where, because, you know, people are getting music for free and then they're streaming, and
right.
I can't risk my life to pursue a dream I already pursued and lived.
Right, yeah.
But I want to make records still, and I want to make them available to people, and that's basically what I've been doing since I quit Propane. Is I've made two Generation Kill records. I did another Propane record, a 20-year anniversary record.
Right.
I did a record with DMC, you know, the Fragile Mortar record, and now I have the Pain Method record. So I was able to put out 6 more albums since Propane, you know?
Right, yeah. Wow.
Because of my history with M.O.D. and Propane, it allows me to still make records, low-budget records where we don't, you know...
Right.
I want them to sound great, but we're not spending $50,000 to $100,000 to make them. And luckily, with the power of the Internet and these record labels, you know, digital downloads, if people want it, it's there. We have physical copies at our shows. And that's basically where we're at with it, you know. I mean, unless Dave Grohl hears my story and says, you know what, we're taking them on the road.
Right.
You're gonna have to pay your way as far as getting yourselves to the show and feeding yourselves. But
right.
No, we don't want you to pay $100,000 to be on a Foo Fighter tour, $50,000. Even Stone Sour, like these bands, Take Us Out, Godsmack. You know, I don't even want to throw the numbers around that. It's honestly, it's shameful, but they're not selling. These bands aren't selling tons of records either, so they found a new way to make money. You know,
right? Yeah. Wow.
And I can't do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $50,000 to be on a Godsmack tour or fucking, you know.
Right.
It's just not, to me, it doesn't even make sense. Like, you know, do we get a tour bus and a back line and a crew for that? Nope, nothing.
Nope.
You know?
Not at all.
It ain't happening, dude.
Not these days. Not these days.
No, it just ain't worth it. So a tour will only come if, by some miracle, one song off this record hits or the record does really well. Then we can go play clubs and try to, you know, throw a tour together. But I don't want to be a hypocrite, so if that does happen, I'm not going to make bands buy their way on, you know?
Right, yeah. Wow. That's great, you know. So, Rob, it was good talking to you, and don't be a stranger no more. I haven't talked to you in 5, 10 years.
No,
So,
I know. I see you out there all the time, and now I got a cool record for you to check out, and I'm glad you gave it a chance and listened to it. It probably wasn't what you were expecting, but I'm 49 years old now, so it's like,
yeah. It's enjoyable. The record was enjoyable. I really liked it. I listened to it more than once. A couple times all day.
Cool.
So I gave it a chance, and there's quite a bit of songs I did like. And
awesome.
Hopefully the best will happen out of it. Congratulations once again. The Pain Method. What does kill you? Would you like to say anything to the fans in conclusion?
Yeah, I mean, the title of the record, What Doesn't Kill You, it's basically this album is cathartic. There may be one song on this record that's not about my life, but things may get dark personally in your life. Don't give up. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's the whole vibe of this record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are going to betray you. Dust yourself off. Family members are going to die. Dust yourself off. Jobs come and go. Women come and go. You have one ride on this planet. Make the most of it. This has nothing to do with music.
Cool.
This is life. And that's what the Pain Method, that's how I've prevailed and all the crap along the way, it just builds character, makes you stronger, and either you crawl up in a ball or you rise and up above it and you do the best you can with this life. That's what this record is about.
Cool.
So
great. Thanks a lot, Rob. Talk to you later, man.
You later. Bye.
Bye-bye.